Hello. The Gospel of Mark is a bit unusual. Well, at least for me anyway. Because for the previous biblical studies, one book came in 3 different versions, or you could say editions. That was like Kindle, paperback, hardcover, stuff like that. However, this one is technically one book, but there's an option to get it pared down into 3 parts, which they all also have their own versions or editions. Same thing. This was so customers could have the option to take a larger book with them for group studies, whether at church or someone's home, or they could also take smaller versions if that would make it easier. It's all the same, but I wanted to give them, options. And when you're writing a book and desire to split it, you might have to take a few considerations in mind. First, what is the size of the book? Does it need to be split or have an alternate version? After all, if the book is already small or medium, then actually you should be okay. And technically the Gospel of Mark isn't overly large in page count, but it is pretty thick for a book where you have to take notes and write comments and put things of that nature. And some people may not want to take the book that large because it feels uncomfortable writing in it, so some people might want to have a little bit smaller version for that. Another thing to consider is whether the split versions benefit the customer. This was a Bible study, so like we said previously, people want to take notes and of course make comments. And for some, taking that with them means you have to take this much heavier book. So sometimes you do a smaller version, so that way it's much lighter and it's easier for you to maneuver through. And it's all about the customer. Because not everyone wants a big book wherever they go, and you also have to consider the length and the width. 300 pages for a much smaller book is one thing, but if the book is really wide or really long, then also those exact same 300 pages looks much bigger and is much, much heavier. So you just have to kind of consider the size of the book, and does that difference actually help your customers and your people? Do they want something smaller instead of taking this whole entire thing all at once? Something you have to consider. And the last thing that you also have to think about is your reader. In other words, what are they used to? If you're writing to a group of people who like, let's say, for example, fantasy novels, and they are very much used to huge novels. Think about all the people who are fans of Lord of the Rings or the Song of Ice and Fire series. Those novels are massive, and the customers love them. So breaking up the books is completely unnecessary if you're writing to, a similar fan base. However, if your people want pocket-sized novels, thinking more like your romance novels, something of that nature, then they want something a little bit smaller. So you have to really give them the options that best fit that. And if your pocket-sized book is way too thick, then you might actually have to, split it so that way those people will be happy with their particular purchase. So for all you authors out there, good luck, and storytellers as well. Please continue to be creative and make sure to get your story out there to the world. For more on the Gospel of Mark, visit lavari.com/Mark for free chapters, videos, and more. It's available on Amazon and wherever books are sold, including hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. Thank you so much for your support and prayers.